Okay, like he said, my name is Valerie Pugh. I teach first grade, and the name of my project was Through the Eyes of a Child. And I chose this because I have a very diverse class of abilities and special needs. And while researching ways to improve classroom management, atmosphere, and the overall learning environment altogether, I came across an article about how fluorescent lighting affects students and teachers in the classroom. To me, learning environment is one of the most important things, because whenever you first walk into a classroom, I know as a teacher, when I walk in, just how it feels, the atmosphere. And so just imagine being a little 6-year-old walking into their classroom on the first day, seeing bright colors, feeling like it's homey, comfortable, like they're safe and they're comfortable learning in that environment. So that's the way I wanted to make my classroom feel. So after I purchased sky panels to cover my fluorescent light bulbs, and these were ordered and installed after our fall break. So when the students arrived back to school after fall break, they were very astonished and amazed when they came in the door and they saw pictures where the drab flickering lights used to be. There were clouds, blue skies, hot air balloons, birds, kites. And this is a picture of our custodian installing these for me over fall break. And while researching these sky panels, it's a proven fact that there is a link between a child's learning performance and environment. For example, the lighting in a room design, use of color, the temperature, sound enhancement, all of this plays really important roles in how the kids can learn. And this is an example of how I do not want my classroom to look, an example of a poorly lit, unattractive classroom without natural lighting. And I remember back in high school and college, this is what most of my classrooms look like. Success stories of these sky panels being installed. Now, this is not in my classroom, but this is the research. It says that a 7-year-old with autism showed seasonal worsening every year after the changing of the lighting in the classroom. It helped him to become more controllable rather than completely withdrawn. Also, a 5th grade student doubled the speed in which he could recognize written material after being provided with individualized lighting. Several 3rd graders with learning disabilities became calmer and improved their reading comprehension. An elementary school principal noticed an increase in his 4th graders' time on task and percentile gains in reading and mathematics, accompanied by a decrease in aggressive behavior. And then the negative health effects of the fluorescent lights in classrooms. Fluorescent light flickers, and the bulb contains a gas that gets excited and glows when electricity passes through. And this can cause a lot more than this, but this were some of the top ones: stress, anxiety, depression, headaches, migraines, problems sleeping due to melatonin suppression, obesity, endocrine disruption, poor immune systems, and even increase in breast cancer and tumor formation. And I know recently we had school pictures taken, and they were in the gym, and we had a light above the photographers that was flickering like crazy. And whenever I took my kids in there for their school pictures, those photographers said they already had a major headache from that light flickering. It was just really aggravating them. And these are the sky panels that I ordered for my classroom. They're natural sky panels. They were approximately $35 per panel. There's all different kinds of themes that you can order, different colors. I just wanted kind of a natural look, just clouds, because about every 2 years I do a different theme in my classroom. And they had like fish and ocean, but I just decided to go with that because I switched themes a lot. Success stories in my own classroom. I've seen an increase in positive behavior since sky panels have been installed. I do behavior calendars in my class in which students get a sunny day for good behavior and cloudy day for misbehaviors. And the following are examples of one child's calendar before and after the panels were installed. So I send home calendars every day. And as you can see in October, these were installed at the beginning of October. But in October, he had 3 cloudy days. And then in November, his behavior was getting better. He had 1 cloudy day. And then in December, 0 cloudy days. January, February, March, 0 cloudy days. I like to think that maybe my sky panels had something to do with behavior. So, attendance, I tried to go back and look at the attendance and compared maybe like health-wise, were my kids healthier than before and after the sky panels. And as I looked back at my attendance from last school year in comparison to this year, my overall percentage was higher last year, but I do have a much larger class this year, and also I have a student who is in a wheelchair, and he misses a lot of school. Like if my kids, I have a lot of kids sick, he doesn't come to school. He has doctor's appointments and everything. But I think, let's see, I have the percentage in here. From last year, from August to the end of March, my attendance was like 96%. And then this year with the sky panels, it's at 93%, which is 3% lower. But if you take in consideration I have a larger classroom and then the little guy who misses quite often, it balances out. But I also, talking about my disabled child that has to miss a lot, so that figures in with the percentage. The graph of students' favorite sky panels. I just did this, just curious what they thought about them. The hot air balloon sky panel was the favorite one. The birds was 8 votes, butterfly, kites, 4 votes, and then just the plain clouds without anything else, 4 votes. And this is just a picture of my kids in groups pointing to their favorite sky panel in the classroom.
It reminds me of a
This is a little boy named Hendrix talking about his favorite sky panel and why it's his favorite.
Hendrix, and I really do like these panels, but my favorite is the hot air balloon because it reminds me of a cool video game I play on my Xbox. And it's really fun, and I really thank Miss Pugh for getting these because they're nice to look at. Besides, it helps us be calm and do our work and not be up on the floor, but that does really help a lot.
I don't know if you could hear him or not, but I think he said the hot air balloon reminded him of one of his favorite video games. And he said it helps him to stay calmer, and he was thanking me for purchasing them. This is a video that Mr. Coots did with one of his students to interview 3 of my children about the sky panels.
Appalachia, can you tell us a little bit about it?
You got new skylights in the room. It helps us make a more calmer place. And what a skylight is, it's like a panel and it covers our lights. It made it a more calmer place, and how it covers the flicker because the flicker will actually hurt your eyes, so it's just made it a more calmer place, and it helps you focus more.
What's your favorite design?
My favorite would probably be the clouds. And sometimes clouds have different shapes. They can look like birds, unicorns, and pretty much horses and dogs too.
Okay. Cooper, can you add anything else?
She's right. They can flicker and that will hurt your eyes. And if you have the skylights on it, it will make
can
you
just
more
stop.
healthy.
Go. Also, I had enough money left over that I purchased 2 iPads with the rest of my money. And the iPads were used specifically for a visual impaired student that I have. This is Brody, and he uses the iPad a lot to just help magnify his work. And then this is the other student that I have, and he's in a wheelchair and has a lot of disabilities. And so I have an iPad specifically for him that he uses, and I have a tripod that's in front of him. And then I was ending this with a poem. There's joy and wonder everywhere when you see the world through the eyes of a child. And basically, learning should be fascinating, and it should be done in a fascinating place, I feel. And so as teachers, I feel like it's our responsibility not only to teach the kids, but also make their environment that they're in one that they enjoy being in, and it's just a fun place to be. So, any questions?